Oh, okay. So, good evening. It is the 23rd of January, 2017. Okay, okay. Um, and don't laugh at me. I just thought this is how we'd be able to communicate to each other since we're all in different time zones sometimes, but at least I'm not in England anymore. I'm sadly here in Manhattan. Um, but I just got home from work, and I had the pleasure. It's raining really hard outside, and I had the pleasure of walking someone home with my giant umbrella, which you guys know was something I used to do uh, at UCLA during our undergrad years. Um, I was a big fan of golf, of playing golf, so I had a golf umbrella, and I would carry this giant umbrella whenever it rained. And people in LA, I guess, don't usually have umbrellas or take them out because they didn't trust the weather report if they said it would rain, because it often doesn't. But I had mine, and I would walk people from the classes to the dorms, and that's how I would meet a few friends. A couple of them are somewhat I'm still friends with now, almost 10 years later. So I had the pleasure of doing that today, and we exchanged contact information, and it was just curious because I hadn't done that in a while. The last stranger I'd walked home with an umbrella was a nun in England, so I guess that didn't really. Anyways, before that, it was at UCLA, and I thought of you guys, and I wonder how if it's just me or if it's pretty pervasive for other people, or if it's just with regards to the certain stage in my life that I am, or living in this geographical location where people just ignore each other and try not to touch each other on the train, and everyone's walking super fast. How you end up meeting your lifelong friends during your high school or middle school or undergraduate years, but not so much after when you're a big kid in the work related world. Maybe you do. Maybe it's just me that um, hasn't been able to do that. So I met Ben. If you're listening to this, I met you end of seventh grade. Um, I would wander from during lunchtime. Would wander from group to group, chit chat, see what's up, and I'd come to you and Grant. You'd hang out in front of Mr. B's old room, room 8. How do I know this at Whitney? And how do I remember this? What was it? It turned into Miss Chan's room. Okay. Um, but somehow we got in a conversation about changing English nouns and adjectives into verbs, and as I would conjugate them, uh, you would laugh, and you shot Sprite out of your nose, and it became a goal of mine to get you to shoot Sprite out your nose during lunch, and that was how we met. Then 8th grade, um, you, me, Chris, and Grant joined robotics, and that's just how we became friends from there. Uh, Logan, I don't know if Logan's gonna watch this or if he's even gonna participate, but Logan um, I met freshman year, 2007, at UCLA at our undergraduate neuroscience orientation, and he's really good at gathering our group for cafeteria for dinner at the cafeteria and whatnot. I don't know if people use the word extrovert, or I certainly didn't use that word at the time, but he was very good at gathering people, and that's a cool personality trait that I admire, because I wish I was like that. Haven't quite gotten that skill down yet, but um, we would spend a good 3 to 6 hours almost every night, every weeknight, having dinner at the cafeteria, because we both had not so good uh, well, we didn't like our roommates so much freshman year, um, and we had a lot in common. We were both familiar with Cerritos, the city. I knew your dad from TV. That was crazy. Um, you're we both had girlfriends at the time, and we'd been with them for a while, and we got to share stories. And they both had little siblings, and we shared a lot of stories about that. And we would drink buttloads of green tea because we'd already paid for it, and it was all you can drink. And you were trying to cut down from coffee, so you started drinking tea, and I was trying to lose the however 100 pounds that I lost, and I had to drink green. I thought I had to drink green tea for that, and I, then we would go to our respective dorm rooms and report on how many seconds it took us to empty our bladders. I'm sorry, I had to share that, but that's how we met, and we were good friends since. And Joseph, yo, huh. I met you through Logan, junior year, late 2009. Yeah, through Logan in our more advanced neuroscience courses. And how I met you, how did we first really we would like in neuroscience 102 neuroanatomy with Dr. Scheibel. Dr. Arnold Scheibel was this really legendary doctor at UCLA. He pretty much he drew the the go-to coloring book for neuroanatomy if you look it up. And he was this like World War II doctor who we would make up stories about him, but half of it was like I don't know what stories were true and what stuff was false, but like he was this World War II doctor who was there, like who I don't know if he did a residency, but he did like a Padawan apprenticeship where he followed a doctor around, and they would go to hotel rooms in New York performing lobotomies that were ordered as room service and in like bathtubs, and it was crazy hearing those stories. That we didn't make up. We didn't make up that story, but we made up other stories, and I'm not going to share them because I'm not sure if they're real or not. But this guy, anyways, that's how I met you, and that's we after all these years, even though I only see you guys once, maybe if we're fortunate, once or twice a year, um, I feel that you guys are some of my best friends, and I wish we got to see each other longer, but it's cool how we finally got to meet up over a break, or we made time to meet up. Not really a break. We don't get vacations anymore because we're big boys, and it's just cool that we make the time, but it's getting harder. We can't even really Skype each other anymore, or FaceTime, or whatever technology is allowing us to do. So I'm recording this. I was just wondering what your thoughts were, first impressions on each other, on me, how we first met, and what your thoughts are on friendship, and how do you meet people these days? Like if you've made newer lifelong or really close friends, I'm wondering how you meet them nowadays, because it's, at least out here in New York, it's in the lines of work that I'm involved, it's pretty difficult. Anyways, I hope you're all taking care of yourselves out there, wherever you're all in California. And I'm here. Anyways, y'all suck. Hope I see you soon.